Okay, this is a new part of the Kettle Hill Road, and it's not unknown to anybody who actually has been here or uses this road. They know all about it. So I'm going to drive it on the ATV. It may be a little noisy with this engine running. And we're going to start from where the Maben Road tees in to the old Kettle Hill Road, now Department of Forestry Road. So bear with me here. All the people that lived on Big Oak Flat in the early 1900s would have had to come down this Kettle Hill Road on either their wagon pulled by team, mules, horses, or in a Model T or a Model A of some kind. So we're about to come to the second Whitney Creek crossing, and this one would have been a tough one to cross in the wintertime. Could be uncrossable. And this is what it looks like in May, early May, in a hard year. This is going to be a drought year. So the Model Ts would have had to make it through here. My grandpa got stuck here in his cattle truck. It had to be towed out by Jim Brister. Had to call him down in Lemon Cove, bring his tow truck up here and pull him out behind us. But anyhow, pretty easy to cross in an ATV with four-wheel drive. Climb elevation, you got to have some S-bends. This road's been traveled on for years, so there's a lot of rocks coming up through it. Not much you can do about rocks except try to cover them. You can grade a dirt road, you can't grade a rock. Red hill there in front of us. Nice sloping grade. A couple of snake tracks. This road's cut pretty deep here. Probably wasn't cut that deep by a Fresno scraper. That was probably done by the Department of Forestry. When they widened it, it made it better. Put ditches in. Rainwater has a tendency to want to run down the middle of a road and cut a big gash in it. Okay, right here. This is where the Kettle Hill Road diverges from the modern Department of Forestry Road. It goes off right here to our left. Went around that rock pile right there. Those trees weren't there, of course, they're too young. But you can see, come right this side of the rock pile. This bed right here is built up, so it came from back there, came along down here below this grade, because this wasn't graded at the time. Went between that rock, and then cut to the right where it's kind of a grade up there. I'll show you. It's about 5 foot above the bed of this road right here. So right there, that's the old Kettle Hill right there, coming right through here, going right along the top of the edge of this road right there, right where that deadfall is laying across the middle of it. Still up there, still up on the top of that bank, nice and flat. Dropping a little bit. Okay, now you can see from here how it kind of grades out there between that rock and us and goes across this road that we're on through that cut right there and heads off up towards Red Mountain, Red Hill. Now if we stayed on this road, we'd cut it. It crosses right here. That's the old Kettle Hill Road right there. Going across here. Just a cattle trail now, basically. So So we'll follow it on. We'll switch to the Kettle Hill Road now. You can see someone's been up here recently. There's tire tracks on the road here. But you can see how it's been graded. The hill gives away here on the left. It's nice and flat here where it's been scraped. Well, flat's a relative term. Makes a sweeping bend here to the left. Nice and easy for the horses. The horses made this nice flat. When they look off here and they know they're going to be going downhill, they know that wagon's going to try to roll right up their butt. Another flat rock to cross. That rock's been here for hundreds of years. Nice flat graded slope here. Okay, had a little rain push some dirt down. I should be able to make it over the top of that rock right there, right in the middle of the road. It was probably buried by dirt. Well, let's get off and walk here. Let's see what we got. That road might go to the left here across this deadfall. Let's just see where it went. Cattle like this trail to the right here. Yeah, you know, it might have gone down there. I don't think. Maybe this was used at one time and these rocks started coming up and then they switched it and cut it over here. Let's see if there's a... This looks like a nice grade here if you take this wash out. All this dirt. See, all this dirt washed down there. Washed off of that bank, came right here and blocked. But it wouldn't have been here. Get rid of the dirt and the deadfall. We can come right through there on the ATV. Right through here. Yeah, this was the road right here. Nice and flat and graded. That tree would not have been here. The only thing that would have been here that we can see today are these rocks. So, big flat grade here. That tree may or may not have been here. So, we either swept this way and went around it this way. If it was a smaller tree, it would have had branches, it would probably block that. So, probably made a big S turn here to this side. We got another big washout here. So, remove all this dirt in your mind, and the road would have swept right through here. You see, that road could have gone down through there. And over time, with erosion and travel, those rocks would have come up and get higher and higher. After a while, you can't get over them. So they graded it around and came up this direction right here. So instead of coming this way over those rocks, they came this way on this nice grade, and they ended up in the same place right here. And from right here, it just swept right up around that stake. Again, another Boise Cascade stake to indicate where they wanted their highway to Big Oak Flat. So let me go get the ATV and we'll bring it up to here, and we'll start from here and follow the road on up the way it goes there. Pause. Okay, here we go. Nice and flat again. It's a good part of the road. Still looks like a road here. A little dirt washed away over the last 100 years, and these rocks have all come to the surface and more. Probably as exciting back then as it is today. A white knuckle ride. Okay, here we turn here. That way. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? This way. This definitely looks like a graded road. Here we're going to pick up the forestry road again here. Not as well traveled. Kettle Hill Road either went this way or it went down there, but it ended up right over here and headed for Little Oak Flat. Might have been that lower one that we used. Let me go back. We're going to end up here anyway. We're going to go up this road. Let me go back, put it on pause, and we'll travel the other road, see how it came out, how it comes out. Okay, this time we're going to try the left fork here. I think it's probably the one. Look at that wide gap right there. It's nice and flat. That looks just like a road to me. Even the cattle prefer this one. They built a trail through here. Now it's relatively easy and flat until we get to the old Kelly homestead at Little Oak Flat. Sort of come straight across there. May not be exactly the way we came, but it got to this point over here. And then it heads down here through what we call Live Oak Park. All the live oaks died a few years ago in the drought, so now it's just, I don't know, Live Oak Cemetery maybe. Here's the road that comes in off of the Department of Forestry road that we jumped off of several minutes ago. If we follow that back down there, we'll hit the branch connection we came up on. So we're continuing on here. Still on the old Kettle Hill Road. Much more worn because people have been using this road heavily since 1921. Whereas before that it was just the people on Big Oak Flat. People on Big Oak Flat are all gone now. So this road would look like the other old growth stuff that we walked up, covered with rocks and deadfalls and snakes, squirrel trails. If it weren't for the Whitneys running up and down here on ATVs and pickup trucks and what have you. Anyhow, Big Oak Flat guys are still bringing their buggies and their buckboards, freight wagons, Model Ts, Model As, down this road right here, coming from Big Oak Flat, heading to Lemon Cove or Visalia. Would have been a little tricky climbing a buggy with a team of mules. Now, as you come through here and get this flat spot, you see the old Kelly homestead appear in front of you. Remade in its likeness in the 1980s. But that's where it's at, right there. The old Kelly place. Kelly's came up here in the 1860s and either put up the shack that was there or took what some old squatter had built there and improved on it. And the Whitneys moved in, and shortly thereafter they bought that old Nash sitting there. That worked until they became a family of 5, and then it was too small. Had to get a bigger vehicle, and then that axle broke around 1940, and that's where it sat. But between its replacement as a commuter, grocery getter, and an axle brake, it became a farm truck. Had a pickup bed added to it. It was used to haul supplies around the ranch, feed cattle, what have you. So out behind this old shed here, shack, Kelly place, was a barn. A barn that was disassembled and moved down to where it sits today, that we saw down below. And all the traffic that came between here and Big Oak Flat, up behind that mountain there, had to come through the barnyard, between the barn and the house. So everybody that lived in this house, from the Whitneys on to the Kellys way back, Edwards, Jobs, Big Oak Flat traffic passed right through their barnyard, and they know who was coming and going on the old Kettle Hill Road. So we'll follow it on here past this homestead. Old road went right here past this buckeye tree, right along the edge of this draw, under this big old oak tree here, across this wash, through the Kelly barnyard, Job barnyard, Edwards barnyard, Whitney barnyard. Barn was right here somewhere where we're passing. The road wound around through here, behind this big rock that was here. Probably some semblance of a buckeye tree here. That rock pile would have been here. Down to this bridge across Whitney Creek. There's a dam down there by that little oak tree. So there would have been a good sized reservoir here, maybe 40, 50, 60 feet across. And in length, I don't know, maybe as much as 100 feet. I don't know. It's all filled in with silt now, so we'll never know. But they crossed whatever existed for a bridge here. This has been rebuilt. Whatever existed for a bridge took the weight of horses and Model A's and Model T's, and headed on up this old Kettle Hill Road here. These rocks to our right had been here 100 years ago. Not these trees. Older trees. Ones you see laying on the ground would have probably been here somewhere. Over there is a bank to the reservoir my grandpa put in the 50s. That would have just continued on sloping onto those foothills over there. So we're going up here, and we're going to climb that foothill and go around and out over the top of that knob right over there. for it at the Kettle Hill Road. That's the newer road there, coming into the reservoir. Right here, that's the reservoir. And then that road up above there, Department of Forestry Road, that we crossed down there when we entered Live Oak Park. We're going to Y into it right up here. There's an old oak tree right there, and this one right here in the corner. These were here. They're well over 100 years old. That one out there in the pasture, that's probably over 100 years old too. These boys seen a lot of traffic in their days. I guess you could have ridden horseback to town down this road too. That would have been a little quicker, but somehow I don't see anybody being able to ditch the rest of the family up here on Big Oak Flat when it was time to go to town. They would have said, "Oh no, hitch up the team. I'm not staying home while you go to town." So here's the Department of Forestry Road on the left. It goes up here and makes an S-bend to climb that mountain. The old Kettle Hill Road goes across here, starts climbing on this right side of the red hill. Pretty narrow. You don't need to take a fire truck up these roads, just a team and a wagon. Need a nice graded road down there for fire trucks. Very little has been done to maintain these old roads in the last 100 years. Cut up firewood that falls on there and kick off the rocks that roll down, but old timers took good care to keep the drainage ditches cutting across of them, washing out the road, making deep ditches in the middle of them. People learned road maintenance the hard way back in the old days. Somebody's been up here in a track vehicle and pushed down the foxtails. We'll stop here, and that's the forestry road there. Nice big wide S-bend so you can get that big old long fire truck around there. We're going to make an S-bend right here, and you can see where we cut the hill just above them there, about 30-40 feet above them. We'll parallel that lower road all the way over onto the Big Oak Flat. Still some wildflowers growing here on the north side of the hill. Pretty. Didn't get many this year. Little green grass growing too. Yeah, very nice. These are late bloomers. It's like the 8th of May, 9th of May today. Everything else is dried up brown and these flowers are still growing. I guess that's why you'd want to go to town in April back in 1890s, 1900. It would have been a real sight going down this road all the way to Lemon Cove in a horse and wagon. Back then there would have been a lot more poppies all over these hills. Mountains would have looked like they were on fire. I haven't seen it that way in many, many years here. A lot brushier here on the north side too. A lot of these little scrub trees grow. Used to be a lot more manzanita over here on this side, but the drought really took its toll on manzanita. It's just now starting to come back. Notice these cow skulls hanging on these trees. This is my cousin Rex's bad juju site. He hangs these up or something to ward off all the evil spirits. I don't know. They must be working. I've never been attacked by grizzly bears or vampires or zombies or anything up here. That looks like it's all poison oak here. You got to be careful around this place. Poison oak will eat you alive. Could be a cash crop if there was a market for it. Alright, the road's leveled off here a little bit. Get an open place here, we'll show you down there. You see the road below us, that's the forestry road down there. Makes that dip down there. Goes around that corner over there. And just around that corner is a metal gate. Used to have a lock on it. It lets you into Boswell's on Big Oak Flat. Used to be the old LP Carter place. So we'll come out above that. We stay on this old Kettle Hill road here. We'll come out just above that metal gate, a quarter mile or so. There's some more rocks that have come up through the dirt here over the years. I can't imagine coming over this in a buckboard with a team. Somebody would have had to stop ever so often and fill in potholes and washouts with a shovel. So that would slow you down on your way to town. So we're breaking the saddle. We're going downhill now. What you see ahead of you is Big Oak Flat. The big mountain in the background is Bowery. Behind that, Blue Ridge. So this road is going to come out down here, intersect with the old Department of Forestry road, which runs east or north and south. This road is going to go across. I don't know if you can see a ditch down there, but it's going to cross that ditch down there and head over to the LP Carter place, which is about a quarter of a mile straight ahead of us for the direction I'm looking. This old oak tree would have been here 100 years ago. Carters would have seen that when they moved in up here and built their house, planted their gardens. Homer's nose up there in the background. And you know how the fence and the gate arrangement was back 100 years ago? I'm not sure. I know this road now, the Department of Forestry road, goes down this way, and about 200 300 yards up here it Y's and heads off south there over to the old Wells ranches and Serby House, Miranda House, Cotigas, and then it hooks back to the left and heads north to the old Ewing places and LP Carter place. But that's more of a modern road. And the older road, one of the first roads, it's on the old 70s survey map, crosses this wash right here, heads off in that direction right there and goes by the LP Carter place. So that's the end of the old road from the section 4 down in our old, what we used to call the 80. The old Mamie Merton place that Grandpa bought. All the way up here to section 15, border section, yeah, this is section 15, and right over there is the last slice of 15 before you hit what is that, 14? I don't know. Yeah, 14. 14's over there. LP Carter. Alright, that's it.